Welcome back to One Love Podcast. Welcome back. On today's podcast, I'm gonna start with a quote by Barack Obama. Okay, it goes this way. It's important for us to also understand that the phrase Black Lives Matter simply refers to the notion that there is a specific vulnerability for African Americans that needs to be addressed. It's not meant to suggest that other lives don't matter. It's to suggest that other folks aren't experiencing this particular vulnerability.
Yeah, that's actually really smart because like most other people will start saying that so it's just that black lives don't matter. Is it that other lives don't matter at all as well? So but what Barack Obama is saying that black lives are more vulnerable to, how can I say this properly? That they have a more particular vulnerability to the police and like other stuff as well than other people. I think that's what he's meant to say.
Okay, the experiences they're experiencing everyday lives,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. Recently, Louise Hamilton has been calling for schools to change their curriculum to accommodate and teach more Black history in our children's school.
Oh yeah. On the previous video, he spoke about that. He made it known after finding out that his roots trace back to Grenada in the Caribbean, and he's been like a strong supporter of the Black Lives Matter movement, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he recently discovered that his grandfather Davidson Hamilton, was of the Windrush generation, and those are the black people that came from the Caribbean in 1948 to 1970 in
You
Britain.
mean the Windrush generation?
Yeah.
Okay, you know a little bit about that?
Yeah, I've learned it in school a bit. Yeah.
They taught you guys in school? Okay.
They as I was saying, they came from the Caribbean from 1948 to 1970 to Britain after World War II. I'd say around 2 or 3 years after it. Yeah, 1948, and they helped build the country back again after the Second World War. And like as the story goes, that most of them came here without any documents at all, and they lived a normal life. They went to school and they done work. So they integrated into the country, in the society, without any fear of harassment or anything like that. Until recently, that they have to show proof of where they came from. I'd say around 2012.
That's when the scandal started.
Yeah, that's when the scandal started.
Okay, when you say something that they came here without documentation, isn't it? Really, I think what really happened was some of the parents, they were here already. Like you said, they came here to help out, to rebuild the country, right? Some of the parents were here already. And because they left their younger ones, they left their children back in the Caribbean, right? Mostly maybe Jamaica and other Caribbean countries, most of them that came here during the Windrush. So what they did was because those days the documentation, you can put your children's name or a younger adult with your passport. So they put their children's names on the passport and bring their descendants, most of them. They came over here. You understand? So when they came here, they integrated, like you said. They live their normal life. Understand?
Yeah.
So in relation to the last video we did, you remember we said something about if the parents teach their children their history or teach them their roots, their origin, where they came from. You understand? It's gonna give them the enlightenment of, give them that.
Yeah.
They will know their history and what they're going. You understand? So because of that, most of them when they came in here, they believe they are one of them. They live their normal life in it. They went to work, they go to school, so they don't care. They never believe that maybe one day they're gonna ask them their documentation. Where did you come from? After so many years, 40 years, maybe it's 30 years or something, and they're gonna tell you, can you show us details of where you come from? What shows that you are here throughout those periods? You understand?
Yeah.
And most of them don't have it. They didn't keep that documentation, which was, to me, it's so bad. It's not only it didn't happen only the Caribbean. It happens to black people, African people as well that came here. Most of them, they came here as well. They live a normal life as well. They integrated as well in the society. So to them, they're here. No one asked them about their documents. Nobody asked them about proof to show that they live here. They live their normal life. Most of them even have houses. Understand? So because of that, when the time comes, some even from workplace, they start asking them paper documentation and all that. And some of the only thing they have is what maybe most they have what do you call it, birth certificate and all that. But we've been living here for so many years. Why are you asking my documentation? Do you understand? They were deported, but most few people were deported. A lot of them were deported back to Caribbean, Africa and all that. It was a scandal.
Yeah, it was. And people have been voicing their anger and opinion that like black people are being left out. The contribution the contribution they made to the world to the world development hasn't like been recognized, and I think they should be like taught in schools, because all of the black history that most people know is when there was slavery.
Yeah, if you understand, I think what Louise Hamilton was saying by here, right, is calling for schools to teach more about black history. Do you understand? It's really like, it's not only about slavery. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's calling about the development and impact, like we said the other time in our last podcast, the development and impact black people has already contributed to the world.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's what they're calling for, telling government to help to change the school curriculum to accommodate, black history. You understand? So they can teach more about black history. You understand? So black history is very diversified, It's all of us. If all of us, parents, everyone, if we tell our children about our history as black people, do you understand?
Yeah.
British black, American black, African, Caribbean, and others. We all have black history to tell. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We all have our own histories. We have things to tell our children about our history. You understand? If parents tell their children, instead of like waiting for recognition, waiting for titles, in order for them to be recognized. Do you understand what I mean? Instead of like, this is their duty to tell them this is where we come from, this is what happened. There's a lot of history. Apartheid in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Colonialism, migration, some other stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Following up to that, you have to also, some people have to also remember that black history is not like only about American civil rights. It's not about the American civil rights movement or the Windrush in the United Kingdom. Stories about the apartheid, as you just said, in South Africa, colonialism, and migration should also be taught in schools, in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. So all those things are supposed to be taught. But we shouldn't, they're calling schools to like teach it, which is good. Schools, I'm in support of that, for schools to teach more of black history, right? But we parents shouldn't leave everything for others to teach us our own history. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
We're supposed to teach our
own
younger generation,
children,
descendants, our history.
Because it's more better that it comes it's better that it comes from somebody that experienced it.
Yeah, they will tell their children.
Because they understand more than the school.
So when school's teaching it, because they will not tell you something that contradicts to what your parents tell you. You know that this is not right. No, it's not like that, Mom. My parents said to me, this is what happened. You can't teach me what I'm passing through, right? I know what I'm passing through. This is how it was. Do you understand?
Yeah.
This is how it was. You know, instead of the children don't know their own history, someone is teaching them the history. They can teach them anything they want. But if they know the history, do you understand? You can't manipulate it. You can't change it because they know firsthand. Because the parents are the ones that experience the story or the history that you want to teach me. It's my parents that experience it. And my parents taught me about it. Do you understand? The parents, all of them, we're supposed to teach our younger generation our history. What contributions our black race contributed to the world. Windrush generation, they led their lives. They struggled. They did a lot of things in the benefit of this country.
Yeah.
A lot of things that they're enjoying now was part of what Windrush contributed.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And the thing is, Britain, they, in my opinion, I'm not trying to be rude, but I didn't think they deserved to be helped by the Windrush generation.
Why? What do you mean by that?
Because apartheid, not just Britain, most of Europe, they went all the way to South Africa to try and take over, with slavery and everything, and also after the Windrush generation helped them, they tried to make a scandal to make them go back, to try and deport them back, without it just doesn't make any sense in my opinion.
No, but that's why it's a scandal. They did it without knowledge of people. They were doing it in secret.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? They did it in secret. You understand? So, which is horrible. Understand? It's still happening. Do you understand? So, what I'm saying is that about what Louise Hamilton is calling for, which is for schools to teach or to change the curriculum to accommodate teaching more of Black history. You get? To me, I said, yes, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But first of all, we're supposed to teach and tell our children what is Black history.
Yeah, not just the bad stuff, the good stuff about
Everything.
what we contributed to this
what
world.
What contribute to the world.
Give them confidence for the future as well.
That's it. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm coming from. That's what they are calling as well. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said before, that every life matters. It's not only
Black lives.
matters. But why Black people are calling for equality and everything, they're calling for marginalization and every other stuff like that happening to them. They are the ones that experience it. So when they are crying out and saying that, yes, our lives matters,
you have to understand.
They have to
understand,
because you have never passed through it, you have not experienced it, you might not know how they feel when they're saying stuff like that.
Because you have to understand that when they're doing all of those movements, they're still risking their lives just to call out for their children, for their younger ones, for the new generation as well.
Yeah.
Because they might not know. They might not know that what about the history, the older generation
what
done for them.
Mm-hmm. Understand? So that's why the older generation is supposed to teach the younger generations what they passed through, so that history will not
repeat itself
again. You know, continue the same way. Do you understand? So when the footballers, they're kneeling down, when NFL players, they're kneeling down, they're all of them trying to support Black Lives Matter. So a lot of people are angry. A lot of other races, maybe they're angry. What about our lives and everything? They know the reason why they're doing that. Do you understand? So it's not like people should be, how will I say, I know most people be angry and all that. Instead of angry, call those people and find out. Try to read. Find out why. Research why. Do you understand? Yeah. Research why they're doing all the stuff. That's what I'm saying to other people. If it's annoying you, if it's something that makes you like irritate you more, okay, research and find out why.
They're doing all of this.
Why are they doing it? Because they didn't just start doing it now. It's been going on for a very long time.
But it's only after George Floyd's death that people had to get on camera.
Yeah.
That people started noticing everything.
What's happening. You understand? So
yeah, like if the government decide to change the curriculum or not, parents should like they have to get involved in like their children's lives, and not only depend on the school or the government to like educate them about their history.
That's what we'll be saying a lot longer. Parents have to get involved.
Yeah, because it's not like there's only one history to think about. You have to think, because if you get from the school's point of view, I don't think they're gonna talk about the good stuff that happened.
Yeah,
they're gonna talk about like the slavery and everything. If you get from your parents' point of view, they're gonna tell you about what good they done to the world, and like, you know, it might even give a lot of confidence for the child.
That's it. A lot. That's what we're talking about. That's what they're talking about. They shouldn't focus only on the slavery aspect of it. They should teach more about what we contributed to the world. Do you understand? We did some things good as well. It's not only the bad side of it. They're always showing on TV. They have to talk about it. That's why all of them, you see the celebrities, you see the famous people like Louise Hamilton, a lot of them calling for them to do that, to teach more. When they say more, it's what? About the other aspect of what we're discussing now. What black people contributed. It's not only black people, but Asian people, other races, what they contributed, isn't it? To development, because all of us, we're living in this world. We bleed the same blood. Understand? When the society is in peace, when society is in harmony, everything do what? Prosper. Everybody live happily. Do you understand? That's what we're calling for. A bit of equality, a bit of freedom. It's not like when people go in there, first thing they're looking at is what you skin, which is not right. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They should get out of that and look forward.
Yeah, because like our descendants, they're probably, because nowadays, since schools, they're integrating with different races every single time now. There's loads more different races and colors of skin. So our descendants, they're gonna be used to each other, and they're not gonna think about our color of the skin, the color of their skin anymore. So I think that we have to look forward to the future, and maybe stop bringing back you should bring back the past, but not the bad parts of it.
Yeah, something that will unite us more in the future. I understand. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us to the end. Thank you for watching Rhino Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, and watch our next podcast. Thank you.